now brings us to our weekly speaker spot. Every week at Business at Breakfast, one of the members gets the opportunity to share with the group further insights into their business or enlighten the group a little bit more about themselves. The members can use this time to problem solve or seek assistance from the group as a collective. The time is theirs to use however they would like. That's really untrue. I tell you how to use it. Mr. Tong, I have been waiting for you to come back because I've been holding a spot open for you at Business at Breakfast International just to get you in as a speaker. I thought if I told you in advance, you might come up with excuses not to do it. Not because you're frightened, but because you're humble. So I just thought that I would wait and then put you on the spot. It does allow me to practice some interviewing skills when I get to do this and put someone on the spot, because let's face it, when Ryan comes in, it's going to be like a interview on the spot. I better be good at it. So ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome to the stage Mr. Tommy Tong. He's from over in America. He is a living insurance guy, so I think pretty much one of the coolest people on the planet. Wills and estates are really good. Where's our Debbie? So Debbie does helps you get your wills and estates all planned. And while I think that that's amazing, I think Tommy sits just a little bit higher than her on the rung of most important, because Tommy does the stuff while we're alive, and Debbie helps with this stuff. As should you go, then hey, at least everything is organized after that happens, which is good for the family that's left. But Tommy, I'm going to let you take it away. Here's how it is. I want you to do your elevator pitch again, just to remind us all, because there was nearly 30 of us here, to remind us what it is that you do. And then I want you to give us a quick history as to how you came to be a living insurance dude, like rep. And then stop talking, because the audience is going to have questions. You're good to go.
Fantastic. Well, thanks again for inviting me and putting me on the spot. So, yeah, I am in North America, and I'm in California, but I help people across the U.S. and Canada. We've expanded with FinFit Life, and it's an insurance brokerage company that helps to provide insurance that you can use while you're alive. One of the aspects is a vitality program where the insurance company realized that we can help people by helping them, give them rewards for staying healthy. So they're not using the insurance, and then the money in the insurance can grow a little bit longer. And they do things like watch your steps, or you kind of add those up. They watch how you're sleeping, if you're sleeping 8 hours a day or more, and then how you're eating, if they want to help you to stay healthier. And they gamified it so that those points will add up, and you can get up to 25% discount in the cost of the insurance. So more of those funds go to the cash value. So, and to help you along, they'll give you a choice of a Fitbit or an iWatch. Healthy Savings gives you discount up to 25% on buying fruits and vegetables. So I've heard that it started in South Africa, and they've actually got a grocery section for that. The other aspect of the living insurance is policies that provide the funds to you if you get diagnosed with heart attack, stroke, or cancer. These are terrible diseases that are happening more often than not. And I used to be in medical device, so one of the things I know is we keep people alive. So, but the bills keep coming, and you still you may need the funds for that. But some of our clients actually use the funds to get better, because there are treatments around the world that, at least here in the U.S., they're not going to use the insurance to cover. So. And you wanted to know how I got into life insurance. Well, I have 4 kids, so we figured out, okay, we need to get our will together, but also we need to get protection. So that's that, whether it's mortgage protection or just providing for my family if something happens to me or my spouse, my wife. So we started to look into life insurance, and I got what they call the variable universal life insurance policy originally. And that one was tied to the stock market. 2001, 2008, 9, 10, 11, right? When the stock market dropped, the value in my insurance dropped as well. So my friend introduced me to index universal life insurance, which kind of is like an escalator. So it only funds you if the market's up that year. But when the market's down, would it be okay if we didn't fund you, but you also didn't lose any of the money? So it's a little bit different than your retirement money, where that's usually tied to the stock market. So that appealed to me, as well as the fact that it provided the insurance coverage, or at least the funds, if I got a cancer, stroke, or heart attack. So that's how I got into it. He switched me over to those policies and said, "Hey, you know, I, as an engineer or as somebody who grilled him with all the questions, he said, "Hey, would you like to share this to others?" And so I said, "Sure, why not? Let's make sure more people are protected and know about this type of insurance." And that's how I got into it. So, any questions?
I'm going to call for questions in a sec. I'm going to add two
Okay.
stories in about insurance. I'll tell you from my perspective. One is I have insurance here in Australia, and so I've got all those ones, TPD, and so the trauma, the disease, the hurt yourself, whatever it is, chop your arm off, that sort of insurance, and life insurance. We have a golden retriever that's 5 years old. When he was about 1 year old, I was taking him for a walk. It was winter, and it was Sunday morning, rubbish o'clock, maybe 5 o'clock in the morning. I've gone outside in the dark, slipped on the stairs, and fell down. Now, all I did was just fall straight onto my bum on a step, didn't hit anything. But I got winded across my back because I felt something crack. Well, I heard it crack, and it was like my shoulders were just, because they're so big and strong, right? Just crunched down on my spine. Anyhow, crawled myself inside, and because nobody could hear me scream out in pain, and because they were sleeping. And when I've crawled inside, all I could think of was, oh, this is why I have insurance. If I've seriously done something to my back and I end up in a wheelchair, we're fine, because that's why I have insurance. It's not for the things that you can never think will actually happen. It's always for something so small. And I ended up cracking 2 bones in my back. Okay. But if it was that bad, at least I had the insurance to cover. And that brings me to a different story. When my dad was in 1980, my dad had cancer and was supposed to die. When he didn't die and got better, my mum then in 84 had a neck injury at the hospital she was working at. And so you can imagine we were kind of broke our whole life growing up, with only one parent being able to work and having to look after the other one each time. But my mum was going through a court case with the like suing the hospital. And it took 10 years of them paying the lawyers, trying to put food on the table. And looking back now, I've gone, wow, if only they had insurance, that would have covered all of that. Even Arnold says in his book, right? Be useful. He tells a story of, he has this heart thing, this genetic heart thing, and he got a stent put in, and it's about 10 or 11 years, and he was supposed to get a new one put in, and he kept putting off. Anyway, he finally gets to the point, and he goes, all right, I'll get it done because I can fit it in around these things. The operations become faster and easier. It's not going to wreck my workout before I start. I'm not the governor anymore, but I'm going to work out at this for this movie. And anyhow, when they went in to do this very simple operation, something happened. And whether the doctors nicked something or whether it was just him and his heart, something happened. They had to crack his chest, open him up, bring him back to life. 2 days later, he wakes up in the hospital bed. Oh, yeah, it'll be at least a week before you can leave. It'll be a month before you can even think about picking up weights. It'll be this, it'll be that. And many people said to him, you should sue the hospital. And he said, why? Why? They kept me alive, regardless of how it happened. He said, they kept me alive. They did everything that they could. And he said, and I've got enough money to cover for the fact anyway. So, and I think that insurance component is such an important thing for us to think of, is you have to be covered for in case an accident happens that you'll never think of. So those are my stories. Debbie, I see that you've got your hand up. No, Deborah.
Yeah.
I was said it the wrong way.
Deborah,
your turn.
I was just wondering, with the life insurance policy, or the living insurance policies, do you have to accrue money in it? Or, I mean, say I took a policy out this month and 6 months down the line something happens. Is that money available? How much is available? How does that work?
The insurance policy is the funds that are in there is yours. It does grow, and how that helps is it kind of starts reducing the cost of the insurance as you get older. That's one way that the insurance funds can help reduce that. So that's, but as far as if you get an illness and you need, and it's determined by the underwriters that that it is a serious illness that they can pay out on, it's coming from the death benefit side, whatever the policy amount that you had. So they'll determine how much funds come to you. There are some policies that give you a set amount, and then you also have the death benefit. That's what John Hancock has, that one, where there's a certain amount that you get if you get diagnosed with those. And then also when you do pass eventually, right? Everyone will. Then also the death benefit happens. There are other policies that kind of just take a portion of it, like up to 90% if it's a fatal terminal illness, and give you that portion. So they kind of take a little bit at the end. But yeah, good question.
Excellent. Thank you so much for the question. Yep. Something else? Yeah. You're on mute,
Trisha.
Deborah.
Every business needs a website.
Are you going to be cutting the segment? Because it's going to be wonderful for me to be able to give it to people to see and understand what he's talking about.
Yep, 100%. This will be cut out for you to share around. Absolutely. Yes. Patricia, you got your hand up.
Is there an age limit to join?
As far as getting a policy,
Yeah.
all insurance policies depend on being qualified for the policy. So there is an age limit that each insurance company will apply, but sometimes I work with a bunch of different ones. So sometimes it's up to 80 years old for some of them. Some of them are like 73.
Okay.
good
And it's
question.
only for the US and Canada?
At least the ones that I provide, but in your country or in your area, there should be other insurance agents that can help you out. FinFit Life is trying to go global, so I'd love to be connected with other insurance carriers around the world to see if they want to add FinFit Life to their portfolio.
Okay, thank you.
Excellent. Thank you so much. All right, just watching the time. We've got 2 minutes to go. Thank you, Tommy, for being our speaker today. It's really great to have you back in. I've been waiting to have you speak for, well, we've been networking together for a long time. So really, I've been waiting for you to be able to speak to any group for a really long time. Thank you, audience, for participating and having questions and really thinking about this as well.